Hello, my name is Adriana and I'm excited to be cooking with you. Today I will be sharing with you one of my favorite plant-based taco recipes, lentil tacos. This recipe is supposed to mimic the consistency of a ground beef taco or tacos de carne molida, which is a pretty easy homemade recipe in most Mexican homes. However, my recipe is completely vegan. Not to mention that the lentils are high in protein and high in fiber so that you can feel really good about what you're eating. Plus, I will even be sharing with you how to make your own tortillas and vegan crema from scratch. For our lentils, we're going to need 2 cups of cooked lentils, 1/4 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1/2 teaspoon of nutritional yeast, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 white onion, 1 garlic clove, 1 tablespoon of liquid aminos, 3 tablespoons of your favorite olive oil, 1/4 teaspoon of oregano, 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/2 teaspoon of cumin, and 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. And this is completely optional, but if you want some heat to your tacos, your favorite chili flakes or chili powder. I'm using some ghost pepper. So we're using a large skillet here. I'm just going to turn our heat to medium. And I'm going to be adding our oil and letting this heat up. Ready when you start to see little ripples on it? At this point, I'm going to add our onion, which I just roughly chopped really quickly. And we're going to let it cook for about a minute. At this point, I'm adding our garlic, which I just roughly minced. I like to add our spices in first so that can heat up a little bit in the oil. So I'm adding them all at once. Doing this really helps with blooming all of the spices, all of the flavors, and incorporating it better into our recipe. And now we're ready to add the lentils. And you want to mix it just enough so that all of the spices and the onion get really incorporated. And at this point, we can lastly add our amino acids. Everything's starting to smell so good. And what you can really smell is the amino acids and the nutritional yeast are really coming together, and that's what's gonna give it that meaty flavor. The nutritional yeast actually has vitamin B12, which really mimics some of the vitamin B12 that naturally exists in meat. And we're gonna let this cook for about 5 minutes. So it's been about 2 minutes, and you can see that the lentils are starting to brown just a little bit, and that's exactly what we're looking for. Now, the reason I asked for you to use brown lentils is because these are the lentils that are going to actually hold up the best. So it's been 5 minutes, and you can see how brown they have actually gotten. And at this point, what I like to do is just smash my lentils a little bit with the back of my spoon. And the reason I'm doing this is just to give it that texture of ground beef, which is consistent with the recipe that we're doing today, that of carne molida or ground beef tacos. If you prefer not to have that texture, then you can completely skip this step. The last thing I'm going to do is just taste my lentils. Now, depending on the lentils that you use, you might need more salt or less salt. Remember, our liquid aminos are already salty enough, so just be careful and make sure that you taste it first. I think my lentils need just a little bit of salt, so I'm just using some pink Himalayan sea salt. And our lentils are done. What I like to do is place my crema underneath my taco filling. Add a little bit of the lentils. Sprinkle some onion. And a little bit of the cilantro. And lastly, add a little bit of lime juice. This will really help liven up the taco. So there you have it, a plant-based taco recipe that's nutritious and delicious, and it might even remind you of some of the tacos that you've had in the past. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for letting me come into your kitchen and cook with you today. Buen provecho. Make sure to like this video, share it if you loved it, and subscribe to my channel for more recipes. Oh, and follow me on social media at AMDV Adriana.